Welcome to another episode of the News Dash with JNA Real Estate, where we bring you that bite-sized news every single week all around the world about real estate, just hand-delivered to you via your screens or via the podcast. And it's brought to you by two full-time real estate agents turned part-time
newscasters.
Absolutely. I forgot. Turned part-time newscasters who tries their best to bring you that real estate news so that you can be the most educated one amongst your friends. Okay? So Grace, today, what are we talking about?
Okay, so the first thing up is that we're realizing that we're actually having a problem in Singapore about aging population.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So we're going to have at least half the population being over 50 years old, and we'll then be wondering, we still got a long way there, yeah.
Slightly longer way
At least another
20 plus.
Yeah. But by then we'll be looking at a change in the demand for housing, because right now I think we're seeing a lot of people having a higher demand for bigger units because they realize the importance after COVID-19.
Yeah.
But once the aging population actually happens, we'll start seeing demand for smaller units actually increase.
Yeah. Interestingly, this Prime of Life Residential Index, right, has been done through 165 countries worldwide, and this at least half of the population, right, will be 50 years and above, and this shows that rapid declining birth rates, right? And the top 3 ranked locations, right, where people will want to stay in high quality residential developments will be in Northport in Florida, USA, Shanghai, China, and Singapore, right? And I think that this particular article showed us that in Singapore, it's estimated that 48% of the population will be age 50 and above.
Government need to do better in encouraging people to
give birth. Yeah. And not only that, I think that's the reason why government is opening up the borders for more PRs and foreigners to come in, right?
So maybe we need to count
Yes, 靠谁？靠政府，不是靠我。Yeah, 靠政府, right? 靠 the government, right? 加油, aim for at least 4 or 5 each. I'm just joking. Right? The cost of living is so high. Of course, people are not looking to have too many kids, right? And this is quite interesting, which means that there will be an increased demand towards the smaller sized apartments.
Yes. So
right?
it means that developers will then have to start, rethinking their strategy on like the unit mix and newer developments that will be upcoming.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, to do a market research and survey, right? Personally, how many kids do you plan to have? Because that will contribute to the next 10 years of population, right? Yeah.
Initially, ideally 2.
Ideally 2.
Hopefully nothing more.
So ideally 2 means 1 or 0, 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think 1 is good, but then you don't have companion.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a child. I have a sister, so I think having another child kind of makes it more fun.
It's true,
Yeah.
I feel that I will never have an only child.
But it's so hard in Singapore to raise kids,
so expensive.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and that's why in part of the news, right, it talks about how Singaporeans are looking to go to JB already, right? Hey, I think that being an only child, right, is tough, to all the prospective parents out there, which, you guys are all mostly millennials lah, right? It's not easy. You don't talk to anybody, you talk to yourself. Sometimes you talk to the mirror. Parents is very hard to talk to when you're younger, right? Yeah. And I think I will at least also have maybe 2,
maybe
at least
4?
2. Yeah, if God's grace, maybe 4. Yeah, 3 lah. 3 should be the max lah. 4, I'm thinking about expenses. Don't know how.
And then you have 4 kids around you.
Absolutely. 4 mini me, not the best thing. All right, let's head on to the next one. JLL close of $106.1 million Southeast Asia hotel portfolio deal.
Yeah.
And congratulations to JLL, right? And I think we have a lot of good friends there.
Yes.
So tell us a bit more about this, Grace.
Yep, I think this also shows the confidence that investors actually have, in Southeast Asian countries as well as the commercial properties over there.
Absolutely.
And this is when, these are developing countries.
Nations, yeah.
But investors are actually heading in. And I think you also visited Vietnam sometime back.
I went to Ho Chi Minh twice this year, hoping to do something interesting there. Came back because, haven't found the right people to work on it together. One thing I realized is that there are a lot of multinational developers that are in Vietnam now. You have the Korean developer, Lotte, that's there. Capo is there. CapitaLand is there. Australian development, Lendlease, they are out there as well. So it's a nation that people are pouring money in, right? And I think this also shows a recovery in hotel revenues, right? Specifically because of the ease of travel restrictions, and a lot of people are doing the revenge traveling. They call it the travel rage.
Yeah, after not being able to travel for the past 3 years, I think people are now traveling all over, especially Singapore. It's so easy, right? With the passport that we have.
Absolutely.
You just get a ticket, weekend, you're out.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this year I've flown 6 countries, out of which 5 were business, 4 business trips, 1 church conference, not flown down, took a bus, and then 1 holiday trip, right? Wow, yeah, I realized that I'm also part of the revenge traveling. Okay, and on the other news, right? In the other news, right, we have the Johor housing market.
Yeah.
Oh no, I recently had a buyer who called me and said, Travis, I have an urgent news to tell you. I said, what happened, right?
I'm moving to Johor.
No, this is my parents. He's about 27 this year.
Yeah.
He said, my parents bought 2 properties from me. I said, that's good news, right, for you? He said, no, both are in JB. I'm like, he said, do you know anything?
He's
How do I?
over?
Yeah, no, he's not. That's why he's not. His parents are hoping to use that as investments, right?
Okay.
So tell us a bit more about this. Why is it attracting property buyers for Singapore?
Yeah, I think with the increase in, Singapore property prices, as well as HDBs, going over $1 million, a lot of these Singaporeans are then looking for alternative. And the nearest alternative that they have, where they can just drive across, enjoy Lok Lok, have karaoke. It's
Very cheap massage.
Yes.
1.5 hours is like $20. In Singapore, it's like 1.5 hours, 90 or $100.
across the bridge will be then Johor.
Absolutely. And the currency now is so good.
Correct.
Yeah.
So these are where we see Singaporeans actually moving to, or even just exploring purchasing a property over there. Whether it's for investment or not, a holiday home that
Yes, not too bad.
yeah, it's
1/3 everything.
yes. Yeah, so I think something to note is that Malaysia also has a limit to the amount in foreigner that can actually enter. So
Absolutely.
they have to minimally at least purchase, depending on the location.
Yes.
Some of them 1 million, some of them 2 million.
RM 1 million,
Yeah,
RM,
yeah.
half a million.
But if you compare to Singapore HDB prices, it still
Sam has already hit $1 million,
Yeah.
right?
yes.
So my question here is, would you ever consider moving to Johor?
For vacation, yes, but maybe not to move there.
Why not?
I love Singapore.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
And my family is all here, so I think it's more convenient also.
But it's just across the causeway. Yeah, but it takes a long time to
Yes.
get across the causeway,
Yeah.
right? I don't know, right? I yesterday just had a conversation with Penny. I said, hey, we just
You
came in from
retire
Johor.
there?
Yeah, I said, you want to retire there? Right? She said, no, because the causeway is super jammed and you want to get home is damn crazy. But I was just there and I was just having a nice meal.
Yeah.
In not a restaurant, maybe in a cafeteria.
Mm.
The whole meal with me and Penny having a meal, usually in Singapore costs like $40, $50.
Yeah.
That costs like
$40,
$12 Sing.
Ringgit, yeah.
Yeah. it's
Maybe
like-
the same thing but in ringgit. So
Yeah.
divide by 3.
Correct.
Yep.
And it's insane, right? It's so cheap, right? And I think that just a cautionary note, right? For anybody who's looking to buy Malaysian homes, okay? I just want to say this, okay? Out of respect for my Malaysian good friends, I have one of my greatest friends in my cell group is a Malaysian, okay? I'm not going to say his name too much. We're going to talk to him, right? But anyways, never ever enter into a foreign investment or foreign home if you know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last thing
Yep.
to do. I've heard horror stories of how one of my clients spent $5 million 20 years ago. 5 years
Yeah.
is a lot. I think right now it's about 30 million to buy a whole row of homes in Malaysia. In the end, when he went to developer tore the title deed right in front of him and said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? So honestly, I don't know why, but 90% of the stories I hear about Malaysian homes haven't been positive. I think the market still needs
Yes.
some time.
I think
to
a lot of people
develop.
are attracted to the pricing,
Yeah.
but I think people then need to rationalize, there's always a reasoning behind some pricings.
Absolutely.
And what is you have to understand the political aspect of
Environment.
things and the
Yeah.
environment in the area before you actually enter into such a big purchase.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Unless you're Malaysian yourself, you're comfortable with it, of course you can stay there, right? Okay, so of course, because of a lot of people shifting to Johor, let's talk about the very popular May BTO launch, Serangoon,
Yeah.
right? I had so many calls with a lot of millennials, right? Telling me, hey, should I buy the Serangoon one? Should I consider PLH? So tell us a bit more about this. So what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So there has been an upcoming series of launches for BTOs, and I think the one that saw the highest application was actually Serangoon.
Yeah.
For a 4-room flat, I think for every unit itself, there were like 9 people applying for 1 unit, and then for 5-room flats, it was about 13 people. So it shows the demand for bigger flats also, like we mentioned previously, with the younger generation right now, having a family, especially in this mature estates where there is not much supply of such big units.
Yeah.
You can see that they are actually preferring such bigger units like the 5-room flat as compared to the 4-room flats.
And one thing that I also want to talk a little bit more about BTOs is that, if you can, you have the liberty to continue your
Yeah.
real estate investment after that, right? Don't see a BTO as a place that you will stay for life. The grants are great, right? The waiting period can be even greater sometimes, but don't see it as a place that you'll stay for life, because a lot of young couples, they always tell me, Jarvis, I really want to choose this home, right? And then this has to be a perfect place. I say, are you going to stay there for more than 10, 15, 20, 30 years? They always tell me, yeah, I think this will be my forever home. I say, nope, it's not going to be, because we have met so many owners who fell in love with the place when they first entered the place, stayed there for 3 years because of a change of housing needs, more kids, more space required, they shift, right? See it as an asset. rather than just see it as a place to stay, right? I think that will kickstart your real estate investment portfolio on a good note, okay? So yeah, I guess this is the last news that we have for the week. Any other concluding thoughts about this week's news? Maybe I'll start first.
Okay.
Personally, I feel that you can start seeing there's a recovery in Singapore's real estate market and a global real estate market, right? And ultimately, right, like every single investment, no matter how healthy it is, no matter how positive it looks, right, always exercise prudence, whatever you buy, right? And especially, I know most of you guys watching are millennials, right? Remember this, the moment you start seeing a real estate asset as an investment asset, you have won half your battle. And I tell you, the head start you have in life, so that you have the financial freedom to spend more time with your family and spend more time with so many things that really truly matter, right? You know, that kind of head start that you get truly will give you freedom, right? And that's what I want to say.
And I think it's important to think ahead, you know, instead of I think a lot of people, they think at the moment, what do they need currently?
Absolutely.
And that's when they actually maybe make a purchase that, you
Emotions.
know, emotional purchase that, you know, might not be the best case when you want to exit in the future. So I think instead of looking at a moment now, maybe think, you know, 5-10 years down the road, what your needs might be. And then we can plan accordingly from the start.
Absolutely, right? So there are a lot of millennials who have reached out to us. Ultimately, we are a team that is by millennials, for millennials. And, you know, we have been like this for the past 7 years. So if you want to contact us, you can just let us know. The number will be right there, over here. And if you want to be constantly updated by the news, and we have a lot of friends who have joined this channel, right? You can just join the Telegram group chat over here. We have 1,200 plus people who have already joined, right? To get good information about real estate market, right? So anytime, reach out, let us know. We are always there for you, right? Thank you so much for watching this week's News Dash. You know why I'm speaking very fast? Because I have sore throat, so I'm trying to end this video as soon as I can. I don't know what happened. I have no COVID. I tested negative, right? I was praying that that's it, you know?
I hope you have no COVID.
I really have no COVID. I tested. I just bought the ART test kit. But anyways, people are not interested to know whether I have COVID or not. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the News Dash. If this video was sent to you, it's because you are well loved by the person who has sent to you. And this is Jervis.
This is Grace.
We'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.